Your blood sugar may be damaging your body, even if you stopped eating sugar years ago. Think about that carefully. Most people believe diabetes begins with candy, desserts, soft drinks, but that is only part of the story. Listen carefully. Some of the most dangerous blood sugar spikes happen long before diabetes is diagnosed, and many people never feel them happening. Stay with me, because what I'm about to explain could completely change how you see insulin resistance. Here's the problem. You can avoid sugar for years and still develop rising blood sugar. You can eat healthy foods and still feel exhausted after meals. This is where it gets dangerous, because the real issue is often happening much deeper inside the body, inside your cells, inside your blood vessels, inside your pancreas. Most people don't realize this. Prediabetes is not just about food, it is about inflammation, insulin signaling, and how your body handles energy over time. Tonight, I'm going to show you 3 powerful spices that researchers have studied closely for blood sugar and insulin support. And the number 1 spice on this list is probably already sitting in your kitchen, but almost everyone uses it incorrectly. My name is Dr. Nox Carter, and for more than 20 years, I've worked with people struggling with blood sugar and metabolic health. I've seen the same pattern repeatedly. People feel confused, frustrated, and exhausted. They try harder every year. They avoid desserts, switch to healthy snacks, buy expensive supplements, and still, their numbers continue creeping upward. Listen carefully. Most people are not lazy. Most people are not failing. They simply do not understand what insulin resistance is actually doing inside the body. Here's the problem. Standard advice often focuses only on sugar, but insulin resistance affects far more than blood sugar alone. It changes energy delivery, inflammation levels, circulation, even hunger signals. Stay with me, because once you understand what is truly happening beneath the surface, the entire picture starts making sense. Most people don't realize this. Your body is constantly trying to protect itself. The fatigue, the cravings, the stubborn weight gain, these are not random failures. They are signals. And tonight I want to help you understand those signals clearly without complicated medical language. Let me tell you about Linda. She is 67 years old, retired, very disciplined. 3 years ago, her doctor warned her about pre-diabetes. That conversation frightened her, so she changed everything. She stopped eating desserts, avoided soda completely, bought low-sugar foods. Every morning she checked her blood sugar carefully, and every morning she hoped the number would improve. Listen carefully. Instead, the numbers slowly climbed higher. Linda became stricter. Smaller meals, less fruit, more diet products. But her energy kept dropping. Most people don't realize this. Restricting food alone does not always solve insulin resistance. Stay with me. One afternoon, Linda was shopping at a grocery store. Suddenly, she felt lightheaded. Her vision blurred slightly. She grabbed the side of a shelf to keep herself from falling. For a moment, panic rushed through her body. This is where it gets dangerous, because unstable blood sugar can quietly affect circulation and brain function over time. Linda sat in her car afterward, trying not to cry, not because of fear alone, but because she felt betrayed by her own body. Here's the problem. She believed sugar was the enemy, but nobody had explained what insulin resistance was doing underneath the surface. Later, her doctor reviewed her lab results carefully, and he told her something shocking. Her insulin levels had been elevated for years. Even while she avoided sugar, that was the moment Linda realized this problem was far deeper than she ever imagined. Now let's slow this down and explain it simply. Think of your bloodstream like a highway. Glucose moves through that highway constantly. Every meal you eat adds more glucose into the traffic. Your body uses insulin like a key. Its job is to open your cells so glucose can enter and become energy. When everything works properly, traffic flows smoothly. You feel stable, focused, energetic. Listen carefully. Insulin resistance changes that system completely. Here's the problem. Your cells slowly stop responding to insulin normally. The key still arrives, but the locks do not open easily anymore. Most people don't realize this. Your pancreas responds by producing more insulin. For a while, that extra insulin forces glucose into cells, so blood sugar may appear almost normal, but underneath the surface, your body is already struggling. Stay with me. High insulin becomes constant. Inflammation increases, fat storage rises, energy crashes begin appearing. and eventually your pancreas becomes exhausted. This is where it gets dangerous. Now, blood sugar starts rising more consistently, not because your body stopped trying, but because the system has been overloaded for too long, and this process often develops silently for years before diagnosis. That is why so many people feel shocked when they finally hear the word pre-diabetes. Now, let me tell you about Walter. Walter is 72 years old, and unlike Linda, he barely worried about blood sugar at all. He believed diabetes happened to other people, not him. Stay with me. Every morning he drank sweet coffee. Every night he ate cookies while watching television. And whenever family members warned him, he laughed it off. "I feel fine," he always said. Most people don't realize this. Insulin resistance can quietly damage the body long before obvious symptoms appear. At first, Walter noticed small changes. He became sleepy after meals. His feet sometimes tingled at night. Cuts on his hands took longer to heal. Listen carefully. Those were warning signs, but Walter ignored them completely. This is where it gets dangerous. One icy morning, Walter slipped outside his house. He tried to catch himself quickly, but his legs felt strangely weak. He crashed hard onto the pavement and fractured his wrist. At the hospital, doctors checked his blood sugar immediately. The number shocked him. It was dangerously high. Stay with me. The doctor looked at Walter quietly and explained something difficult to hear. This didn't begin recently. Years of insulin resistance had already been affecting his circulation, nerves, and blood vessels silently. Walter later admitted something painful. He believed serious symptoms would appear early, but insulin resistance often grows quietly for years beneath the surface. And by the time many people react, the damage has already started. Now you can begin to see the pattern. Linda tried too hard. Walter barely tried at all. But both were affected by the same hidden process. Listen carefully. Insulin resistance does not stay isolated inside your bloodstream. It spreads damage throughout the body slowly. Most people don't realize this. High insulin and unstable blood sugar affect nearly every major system. Your liver starts storing more fat. Inflammation rises quietly inside tissues. Blood vessels become less flexible over time. Circulation becomes less efficient. Stay with me. That is why many people feel exhausted after eating meals heavy in carbohydrates. Their cells are struggling to use glucose correctly. Here's the problem. The body responds by producing even more insulin, and higher insulin levels often trigger stronger cravings for sugar and snacks. This becomes a cycle. More insulin, more fat storage, more inflammation. This is where it gets dangerous. Over time, blood vessels begin experiencing microscopic damage. The brain receives less stable energy, mental clarity declines. Some people feel brain fog, others become irritable or unusually tired. Most people never connect these symptoms to insulin resistance, but they are deeply connected. Stay with me. Poor circulation can also affect healing. Cuts heal slower. Hands and feet feel colder. Numbness slowly appears. These are not random signs of aging. They are signals that the body's metabolic system is under stress. And unless that stress is reduced, the damage quietly continues year after year. Now let's talk about the first spice, ginger. Most people think ginger is only useful for digestion or nausea, but that is only a small part of the story. Listen carefully. Ginger affects blood sugar in a very interesting way. Your muscles are some of the largest users of glucose in the entire body. Every time you move, your muscles pull glucose out of the bloodstream and use it as energy. Stay with me. This is one reason why even a short walk after meals can help lower blood sugar naturally. Here's the problem. In insulin resistance, muscle cells become less responsive to insulin, so glucose stays trapped in the bloodstream longer. Most people don't realize this. Active compounds inside ginger, especially gingerols and shogals, appear to improve how muscle cells absorb glucose. In simple terms, ginger may help your muscles respond better to insulin signals. This is where it gets powerful. When muscles absorb glucose more efficiently, blood sugar spikes become smaller. Energy feels more stable, and the pancreas does not need to work as aggressively. Stay with me. Researchers studying people with type 2 diabetes found meaningful improvements in fasting blood sugar after regular ginger use. Not overnight miracles, but real, measurable changes over time. That difference matters. Now here is the simplest way to use ginger. Every morning before breakfast, place fresh ginger slices into hot water. Let it steep for several minutes. Drink it slowly on an empty stomach. Listen carefully. Avoid sugary ginger products, ginger candy, sweetened ginger drinks, commercial ginger ale. Those products often create the exact blood sugar spikes you are trying to avoid. Real ginger works best. Fresh or dried, simple and consistent. Because consistency, not perfection, is what changes the body over time. Now, let's move to the second spice, turmeric. More specifically, the active compound inside turmeric called curcumin. You've probably seen turmeric everywhere recently. Health drinks, supplements, golden milk recipes. But most people use it incorrectly. Listen carefully. Curcumin is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory compounds in the world, and inflammation plays a major role in insulin resistance. Here's the problem. When inflammation stays elevated for years, insulin receptors become less responsive. The locks on your cells stop responding normally to insulin. Stay with me. Curcumin appears to help calm many of those inflammatory signals. Researchers have found that reducing inflammation can improve insulin sensitivity over time. Most people don't realize this. Turmeric may also help protect the beta cells inside the pancreas. Those are the cells responsible for producing insulin. And in insulin resistance, they are constantly under pressure. This is where it gets dangerous. Over time, the pancreas becomes exhausted. That is one reason blood sugar often worsens gradually with age. Now, here is the critical mistake almost everyone makes with turmeric. They take turmeric alone, and the body absorbs very little of it. Listen carefully. Curcumin needs help entering the bloodstream efficiently. That help comes from black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, a compound shown to dramatically improve curcumin absorption. Without black pepper, most of the turmeric simply passes through the body. Stay with me. A simple daily routine works well. Half a teaspoon of turmeric with a small pinch of black pepper. Add it to soup, eggs, tea, warm milk before bed. And consistency matters far more than large amounts occasionally. Because inflammation develops slowly, and reducing it also requires steady daily support over time. Now we come to the most important spice, cinnamon. But not just any cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon. Listen carefully. This is the spice that surprised researchers the most when studying blood sugar control. Most people don't realize this. Certain compounds inside cinnamon appear to help insulin work more effectively, almost like improving communication between insulin and your cells. Here's the problem. In insulin resistance, those signals become weak and inefficient. Glucose remains trapped in the bloodstream longer. Stay with me. Ceylon cinnamon appears to help cells respond more normally to insulin again. And that creates several important effects. Blood sugar rises more slowly after meals. Energy becomes steadier. Cravings often decrease, and insulin does not need to work as aggressively. This is where it gets powerful. Cinnamon may also slow how quickly carbohydrates are broken down during digestion. That means glucose enters the bloodstream more gradually instead of flooding in rapidly. Smaller spikes, less stress on the pancreas. Researchers studying cinnamon regularly have found meaningful reductions in fasting blood sugar over time. Not instant miracles, but clinically important improvements. Now here is something extremely important. Not all cinnamon is the same. Most grocery stores sell cassia cinnamon. Cassia contains higher levels of a compound called coumarin, and large daily amounts over time may stress the liver. Listen carefully. Ceylon cinnamon is different. It contains far lower coumarin levels and is considered much safer for long-term daily use. That is why Ceylon cinnamon is often called true cinnamon. Stay with me. The easiest routine is simple. Half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon daily. Add it to oatmeal, tea, coffee, yogurt, smoothies, anything you already enjoy regularly. Most people fail with cinnamon because they use tiny amounts inconsistently. But consistency changes everything. Over weeks and months, many people notice steadier energy, fewer crashes, and better control over cravings. And that stability matters enormously when trying to prevent type 2 diabetes naturally. Now let's put everything together into a simple daily routine. Because information alone does not change health, consistent action does. Listen carefully. This routine is designed to support blood sugar stability naturally throughout the entire day. Stay with me. In the morning before eating breakfast, drink warm ginger water. Fresh ginger slices steeped in hot water for several minutes. Simple, inexpensive, easy to maintain. This helps support glucose handling early in the day. With your first meal, add Ceylon cinnamon. half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon daily. Oatmeal, coffee, tea, yogurt, anything consistent works. Here's the problem. Most people try healthy habits occasionally, then stop after a few days when they don't see instant results. This is where it gets dangerous. Insulin resistance develops slowly over years, and reversing metabolic stress also takes steady repetition. Now let's talk about the evening. At dinner or before bed, use turmeric with black pepper. A small amount consistently is more powerful than large amounts randomly. Stay with me. Now add one more habit, a short walk after dinner. Even 10 minutes helps. Most people don't realize this. Walking after meals helps muscles absorb glucose immediately. That means fewer nighttime spikes and less pressure on the pancreas overnight. Listen carefully. Hydration also matters enormously. Even mild dehydration can concentrate glucose in the bloodstream, and poor sleep directly worsens insulin resistance. One bad night of sleep can affect blood sugar the next morning. That is why this routine is not just about spices. It is about supporting the entire metabolic system together. Simple habits, repeated consistently, that is how real change begins. Now, I want to tell you something important. Prediabetes is not a life sentence, and insulin resistance is not proof that your body is broken. Listen carefully. Your body is trying to protect itself. The fatigue, the cravings, the rising blood sugar. These are signals that your metabolic system is under stress. Most people don't realize this. The body has an incredible ability to recover when conditions improve consistently. Stay with me. Cells that became insulin resistant can become more responsive again. Inflammation can decrease. Energy can stabilize. Blood sugar can improve. This is where hope matters. Because many people panic after hearing the words prediabetes. Some feel ashamed. Others feel overwhelmed by everything they think they must change immediately. Here's the problem. Panic rarely creates lasting habits. Small, consistent actions do. A daily walk, better sleep, morning ginger water, Ceylon cinnamon, turmeric with black pepper. Simple actions repeated consistently begin reshaping the body slowly over time. Listen carefully. You do not need perfection. You need direction. And every small improvement moves your body farther away from type 2 diabetes and closer to stability again. Most importantly, you are not powerless in this process. Your daily choices matter enormously, and the earlier you begin supporting your body, the stronger your results can become over time. I want you to remember something after this video ends tonight. Your health is not decided by a single blood test result. It is shaped slowly by the choices you repeat consistently. Listen carefully. Most people wait too long before taking insulin resistance seriously, not because they are careless, because the damage often develops silently. Stay with me. But now you understand what many people are never taught. You understand the role of inflammation. You understand how insulin resistance develops. And you understand how simple natural habits can support your body every single day. This is where everything begins to change. Not with fear, not with guilt, but with awareness and consistent action. Most people don't realize this. The body responds surprisingly well when it receives the right support consistently. Small improvements matter. Better sleep matters. Walking after meals matters. Stable blood sugar matters. And those small daily actions build momentum over time. Listen carefully. You are not trying to become perfect overnight. You are trying to move your body in a healthier direction consistently, and that direction matters enormously. If this video helped you understand your body more clearly, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps this information reach more people who need it. And in the next video, I'm going to explain one common nighttime habit that quietly raises blood sugar while most people are sleeping. Almost nobody talks about it. But once you understand it, you will never ignore it again. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself. Your body is worth protecting,